says yes, David Walliams. Stand-up, Ollie Walsh. The team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, king of the road, Jeremy Clarkson. Tonight, he's hired from The Apprentice, James McQuillan. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 32% of women believe it's possible to communicate with the dead? So don't bother trying to kill yourself, she'll still be rabbiting on. In the UK, trousers cause twice as many accidents as chainsaws, which is true. I've had a lot of accidents in my trousers. A female mackerel lays 500,000 eggs at any one time. Slag. And 9% of cat owners claim their cat had a say in their choice of partner, and that choice of partner was not to have one. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most talked about things this week. Sean, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice?
The Apprentice. It was the final of The Apprentice and Alan Sugar decided, finally, to give someone a job in his empire. Which I don't think is an empire. I think it's like a Greek island. I think he does everything. I think you go into his offices, he's dressed in a wig, and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Sugar, I'll see you now." And he goes on with runs into the boardroom, sits there, is going, "Come in, sit down. Tea or coffee?" They go, "Tea." And he goes, "Hold on a sec." And he goes, "No." Because I've never come across any kind of Amstrad or Sugar Enterprises in any part of
Have you not got a Faxophone 3000? No. The Faxophone 3000 they use, it's brilliant. It's like a MIDI hi-fi system with a fax.
It's like someone sellotapes a sort of flask to a banjo or something like that.
It's baffled me how he is so rich when... What is Amstrad? I mean, I had an Amstrad CPC 464 when I was 12.
Is that the one with the green writing?
Green screen,
yes.
and it loaded games off tapes. That was the system. And he's now a millionaire. He must own actual sugar.
James, do you think the right person won?
Yes, I think Yasmina was right to win, yeah.
The prize on this, Yasmina's prize, she won a job at a digital signage firm. Now,
Yeah,
I don't know much about digital signage, but is it that?
She is selling digital telly things with stuff on.
Wow.
You'd be good in that job because you know all the lingo.
That's right, yeah.
Why didn't he pick Kate?
Did Kate lose because she's got a Birmingham accent? Because that's why I would have said no. I work with Richard Hammond. When he's had a drink, he becomes fully Birmingham, and it's just intolerable noise. Does Sir Alan make you call him Sir Alan?
No one actually tells you that. You do it. It's like, it might not be his real name, just...
But why didn't you call him...
His name's not Shirley, it's Sir Alan.
I just found it all too fascinating, The Apprentice, because as far as I can work out, all you actually do in there is spend 10% of your time doing something and then 90% working out who to blame when it goes wrong.
That's it. You have to kind
And Alan Sugar, you notice this, Alan Sugar, how cross he gets, because one team's made £8 and the other team's lost by 25 pence. But is it like that? And then what's that, Margaret?
Let him speak!
It's like talking to an 8-year-old, isn't it?
Is it like that? Let him speak!
Why does he get so cross about 25p?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Because he's...
Yeah, why did he get so cross?
God almighty!
Answer!
He hasn't made 800-odd million through, you know, look after the pennies and the 800 millions look after themselves.
It's that kind of homespun wisdom that lost you the whole thing.
Yeah. You know, one thing I've picked up, actually, from watching it on the telly, I've just realised how bad my posture is. It's like I'm a prawn, like a jumbo prawn.
That's the main thing you've learned from that experience.
But you are massive.
I mean, how big are you, James? How big are you?
That's the question we're after.
There's a lot of big boys on that team. I want to know who's the biggest. Let's get you and Clarkson back to back. Come on, let's get you back to back. Well, let's see it.
We're not going to get that response.
James, James, back to back.
He just said...
Just don't argue with me. Back to back. James is bigger! James is bigger!
Yes!
Let's have a look and see whether The Apprentice is one of the most talked about things this week. Course. Yes, it was the final of The Apprentice. I don't pretend to know much about business, but after watching Yasmina and Kate carefully analysing their business decisions and leadership qualities, I simply can't understand why Sir Alan didn't hire the pretty one. Sir Alan's been asked to sign on as the government's enterprise czar. James has been asked to sign on. OK, Jason, Holly and David, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, it's got to be the
European elections,
isn't it?
Yeah. Got to be the European elections, isn't it, Jimmy?
No, it's just the BNP going over there taking all their jobs. It's,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple.
Someone threw an egg at him, didn't they?
Was it a British hen that laid the egg? Do we know?
It was a brown egg that was thrown, and that's what hurt.
I don't understand why the BNP even want to be, you know, in the European Parliament, because they're always going to be sat next to foreigners, aren't they, all the time? Unless that might cure them. They go over there and go, actually, it's quite nice, and the people are really friendly. Oh, what's that? Oh, cross-on. I'm no longer a racist.
There's no difference to UKIP. All UKIP have got is we don't like Europe.
Yeah.
So people who vote for them vote for UKIP and say, oh, we don't like Europe. But it's kind of pointless, UKIP going there, because they don't like Europe. It's a bit like going to someone's birthday party who you hate, refusing to sing happy birthday, eating all the cake and then going, this is a shit party.
Then did you see the size of the voting paper for it?
Yeah, it's long.
It was like a piece of bog roll. It just stretched it all the way across the floor.
I just crossed all of them out and just put Hamas. They'll sort this borough out.
OK, let's have a look and see whether the European elections is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, of course. Yes, the European election results were out this week. The BNP has complained of media bias, which is fair enough. You're not even allowed to describe the BNP leader on television till after the watershed, and even then they sometimes bleep the word Sean, Jeremy and James, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Gordon Ramsay's been making friends in Australia? Well, he was actually being told off by the Australian Prime Minister, wasn't he? He was called the lowest form of life. Because he called a TV presenter a pig. He said she was a pig-faced woman. And I thought it's quite ironic, him calling someone a pig when his face looks like crackling. Burnt crackling.
One of the things she said was that he called her a lesbian pig, and he's gone, I never called her a lesbian. And he's been...
This is the picture that he put up. And in fairness to him, she does look a little bit like a pig in that.
Yeah. She's probably got a recipe that said, while the jus is reducing, you can Photoshop a woman to look like a six-titted pig. If you did an interview, you've done lots of interviews, haven't you, Jeremy?
Yeah.
You've never thought the next day thinking, I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to mock them up looking like a six-titted pig. Even if you've thought about it, you haven't bothered to do it.
I sort of feel a bit sorry for Gordon. When the Daily Mail demands an apology, you know, we demand an apology. So he then goes on the television, which he did, and said, I'm very sorry. And now we demand more.
They called his apology snivelling.
Yes, snivelling.
So they
apology.
demanded an apology, he apologised, and then they went, snivelling apology. Yeah. Well, he can't win then, can he?
What they want you to do is stand outside the Daily Mail offices with a cheese grater just rubbing your face off like that.
I think you'll find Gordon Ramsay's already done that. Have you not seen the effect?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. How can he go around deliver, you know, insults about how people look? He makes Ronnie Wood look like Hannah Montana, doesn't he? When he shuts his eyes, it's like someone's put a chef's hat on a walnut.
What I can tell you, it's not one of the most talked about things this week. This is the story that Gordon Ramsay has insulted an Australian TV presenter. The general rule is when you're accused of being insensitive towards women by an Australian, you've got problems. All right, what else have the nation been talking about? Jason's team?
Is it Big Brother? Everybody in the country must have been on Big Brother by now. It's going to be like jury service. That's how it's going to work. You just come down and you'll find a letter and you'll be like, oh, great, we've got to take 2 weeks off work to be in Big Brother.
You know Lisa, The lesbian lady.
Is she a lesbian?
Yeah,
The one with the Mohican?
Yeah.
And the big...
She'd be sat there. She'd be sat there like this. She'd be sat there like this. She'd go, don't get me wrong, you know, with that girls allowed. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'd maybe do them, but I wouldn't do the ginger one, but I'd do the rest. I thought, none of them are going to have sex with you, you dirty great leser. What are you talking about? You'd be lucky to have sex with the ginger one.
Charlie is, he's one of these fellas who pretends to be gay to sleep with women. It's quite annoying.
Right.
And, but he says he slept with 103 women and he's gay. I'm straight. I've not even met 103 women.
James, are you watching Big Brother?
I don't actually watch reality TV. I think it's crass, to be honest with you. I think when you see these people who just, you know, lower their standards to go on to try and... on the off chance... On the off chance...
The irony. Did you get it?
Television was invented, wasn't it, to expand people's minds, and now we're locking them up.
Television
So
was
they-
invented to expand people's minds.
Well, not
Have you
this.
seen your show?
That was...
My genuine problem with Big Brother is I just don't think it's the right way to start the summer. I want my summer to start like a cider advert, you know, light dappled through an orchard, a girl riding a bicycle, you know, down a country lane, ducks landing on a pond. I don't want my summer to start with Chantarella has gone to the dairy room. She's really pissed off because Chiara has done a dump in her makeup bag.
Oh, my God, I missed it. Let's have a look and see whether Big Brother is one of the most talked about things this week. You're right. Yes, Big Brother is back. I was watching it and I thought they've certainly gone for older housemates this year, and there are loads of them. And then I realised I'd switched on to the D-Day celebrations by mistake. All right, 2 more things to get fingers on buzzers. What else is the nation be talking about? Jason.
Is it Gordon Brown?
He's had a bad week. Everyone's been ganging up on him.
Well, there's these rebel MPs, although they couldn't even get 100 names to get rid of him. I joined a group on Facebook that's got 1 million people to punch slow-moving people in the back of the head. Do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine that Gordon Brown's status would just be like, Gordon Brown has changed his status from Prime Minister to it's complicated?
Whatever you say about him, he's durable. He's tough. I think everywhere he goes, he should have Phil Collins with a full drum kit. And before anyone says his name, he goes... Gordon Brown.
He's got a bit wimpy, I think, in the last week. He's got a bit like, oh, I want to be a better Prime Minister. I know my weaknesses. I don't want it. He's the leader of the country. I'd like to see him walk over to David Cameron with a pool ball in a sock. Could just whack him on the head. I'm the leader. Shut up, dickhead. That's what I want.
Let's have a look and see whether Brown's tough week is one of the most talked about things. So, will Gordon Brown survive? Only time will tell. No. OK, we've got 1 more thing to get fingers on buzzers. What else have the nation been talking about? Sean?
Has it been the world record price for a footballer? Well, first Kaká, and now there's rumour that Ronaldo will cost 80 million for Real Madrid.
But it's not real money, is it? At no point does someone go, that's 79, 80... that doesn't happen.
But he's worth it, isn't he? Because he's gorgeous.
Who,
There he goes.
Kaká?
There he goes. Ronaldo.
Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Petulant, spoilt little brat.
Yeah.
Well... Have a look at a picture of Ronaldo.
He's one of those people you'd never tire of hitting them with a hammer. You'd be exhausted and think, I can't hit him anymore, and then think, well, I can! Hit him.
But I think for £80 million, a player has got to be so good, he kind of renders the game pointless. To make the game worth playing, he's got to play in a sack. They put him in a sack, tie it up, and he's still going round people in his sack.
Let's have a look and see whether Ronaldo's record-breaking transfer fee is one of the most talked about things. Of course it is. So that's our top 5 for this week. And in other news, Roger Federer has won his 14th Grand Slam title, but question marks about whether he's the greatest will remain until he finally accepts my challenge of 1 set, no spinny serves, and I get to use the tram lines. And the NHS faces a huge budget shortfall. There'll be cutbacks. Couples wanting IVF treatment will be told to go fuck themselves. So at the end of that round, I can tell you Sean, Jeremy and James have 2 points. Jason, David and Holly have 3 points. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. Our next round is called Pick of the Polls. Jason, David and Holly, you're to choose first. What do you like the look of?
I'd like Jeremy Clarkson, please.
OK, 22% of people think that Jeremy Clarkson should what?
Stop ruining jeans for the rest of us. You like wearing them?
How could I ruin your jeans?
No, you've ruined the wearing of jeans.
How could I possibly have done that?
Look in the mirror!
A lot of people aren't wearing green moccasins because of you.
I have got some green moccasins.
You've got them on.
No, these are olive green.
It's the worst shoe in the world.
They look like you've put your feet in some unripe bananas.
Well, let's have a look at your shoes then.
Just a normal pair of, you know.
No, they're a fashion statement.
Show him the other one, because the built-up one is funnier. What do you think? 22% of people think that Jeremy Clarkson should what?
Should face the facts about climate change. Yeah.
I do face the facts about climate change.
Climate change, can we use the official term? Autumn. That's what it's called.
Or the even more official term, wank.
I'll give you a clue. It involves making our streets safe.
Is it he should stop going out at night and scaring women?
Should stay out of the park.
Has it become one of those fake policemen?
Oh, well, you're very close with that.
Become a policeman?
Yeah, I'm going to give you that, Jason. 22% of people think that Jeremy Clarkson should be in charge of the police force.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy got into trouble last year for suggesting all lorry drivers murder prostitutes with hammers. I can see both sides. Sure, he shouldn't have said it, but then they shouldn't be murdering prostitutes with hammers. OK, Sean, Jeremy, James, what do you like the look of?
The runners.
OK, well, you've chosen the marathon runners. Here's a clip to illustrate the question. Have a look at this.
After more than 140 miles, it's come down to less than 100 feet to that damn line. Yards behind, her stalker appears. It's Wendy Ingram. Their bodies were obliterated, but the spirit held firm. Welch and Ingram crawling in a battle for fourth place.
They did look like a giraffe that had just been born. Just incredible.
Well, what I didn't understand, why there was people just passing them going, I've just done the same thing, love, what are you being mental for?
OK, your question is, more patients in accident and emergency have injured themselves through exercise than alcohol.
Yes, definitely, without a question or shadow of doubt.
I injured myself throwing... I was in a park, there was a football up a tree. I picked up a cricket stump. You know, when you throw a stump into a tree and it bounces around?
Yeah, throwing a stump into a tree. What do you think I do on my days off?
And because it was a real sunny day, I couldn't see, like, where it was in the sun and stuff, and it came back and hit me, and everyone went... You know when you try and sort of style it out like you meant it, sort of thing?
You meant it?
You always do that.
you
Unlikely they meant to do that, yeah.
I actually had a groin strain playing 10-pin bowling.
You've got David's attention.
Yeah?
Tell him more about the pins.
Where did it hurt?
Just there? Just there. Well...
Or was it just
no,
in the middle
much,
of it?
it was more of a calf strain. Yeah, I took my little brother 10-pin bowling, and you think, how hard can it be? It'll be all right, and you go for it, and you pick up the heaviest ball, and I went for it, and just pulled the old groin, and I actually had to go to the doctors the next day, and I'd paid for 3 games. That was the thing that really hurt.
How many people here have injured themselves drinking?
Yeah, loads.
What have you ever injured yourself with drinking?
Fallen down, I got my jaw broken.
By who?
By the bloke who ran the pub.
Technically not a drinking injury, that's more a violence-related thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been there if I had been drinking. You know? I wouldn't have been singing that song.
More patients in accident and emergency have injured themselves through exercise than alcohol. Is it true or false?
Whenever you go to casualty, you always see kids with, like, cricket balls sticking out their heads and stuff, so it's...
Always.
More than you see piss heads, yeah.
OK, so you're going for true, you're going for...
Oh, well, we'll go for false, then why not?
OK, I can tell you the answer is false. Less than 1% of patients in A&E have injured themselves exercising, but an incredible 40% of A&E patients have injured themselves because of alcohol. It's a pain in the arse waiting in A&E. That's because you've got a Hoover stuck up there. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points for Sean's team and 5 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Top household convenience drivers would like in their car.
How about replacing the electric windows with sash windows?
And having a window box on the bonnet.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Got some
Little
nice
flowers,
flowers and a
yeah,
few
grow your own,
petunias.
yeah.
You know, like, using your mobiles illegal? What about a landline?
That's a great idea.
That is thinking.
An ejector seat like the one I've got in my bedroom.
You've got an ejector seat in the bedroom.
Yeah, I say it'll be very nice, but off you go. But I reckon a fridge.
That's the right answer.
That's basically what an ice cream van is, though.
That is an ice cream van,
But you're saying it. What am I saying?
Yes, the top household convenience drivers would like in their car is a fridge. You can get a car with a fridge and a TV and a sink. It's called a caravan, and if you buy one, he'll blow it up. OK, next one. Biggest cause of anger in Britain.
I tell you what winds me up. Oh, it makes me absolutely... You know when it's a windy day and it's raining and your umbrella ends up going like that?
Ooh.
Is it badly organised anger management classes?
It is when somebody comes out of a petrol station and then takes 15 minutes to get out of your way. You were talking about being allowed to punch people in the back of the head for dawdling. I would rake them with machine gun fire if I were What do they do for the next 15 minutes before moving away?
Normally, I think they're sitting there going, that Clarkson's behind me. Biggest cause of anger in Britain.
Is it the ratio of steak to kidney in most steak and kidney pies?
Yeah.
Very rarely do they get it right. You always go, oh, that's 2 kidneys. Or you go, where's the kidney? I didn't buy a steak pie. And then the wind picks up and your umbrella goes, and you go, what a day!
OK, so a biggest cause of anger in Britain.
Is it when you're in a supermarket and you've bought loads of shopping and the woman says, do you want some bags? And you're like, what? You know, I've got clown's trousers, I'll just whack it in my pocket.
It's a very British thing.
Queuing. People jumping the queue.
Oh, I know.
Correct.
Oh, no, it's that.
Yes, the biggest cause of anger in Britain is queue jumping. Here's a tip. If you're in the supermarket and there's a massive queue and you've only got a few items, get to the back, no one cares. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Jeremy and James have a pitiful 2 points. Jason, David and Holly have won with 7 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.